Hi there, and welcome to Thoughts Over Coffee, giving you the time and the space to think and connect with others. So if you've got 5 minutes, join us for today's podcast and video, which is all about how to get over the fear of failure at work. And we're going to give you 3 tips today to help you get over that fear of failure at work. So tip number 1, and by the way, these can be used not only at work, but in any situation whatsoever. So let's help you get over that fear. So number 1 for you, tip number 1, which is find the benefits of past failures. So the first thing to do is I want you to go back over a week. Think of something which you failed at or not done so good at work or within a hobby or something else like that within a team. And what I'd like you to do within that first thing is to come up with 3 things that you've learnt as a result. 3 things, but it's got to be at least a week away, and I'll explain a bit more later within this point. What are the 3 things that you've learned? Which then demonstrates with those 3 things, do you know what? You may fail, that's fine, but what have you learned as a result to move forward? The second thing to do within this first point is to speak to friends. Where have they failed at work? What is it that they failed on? But more importantly, what can they share with you? So get the situation from them. And this goes back to primal times when caveman and cavewoman sat around the fire telling stories. Well, this is what you want here. You want to get stories from your friends. Where have they failed? But more importantly, what have they learned as a result of their failings? And how have they used that to move on and to build that into other things? So that's number 2. Number 3 is all about timing. Now, this is number 3 within point 1. So you're going to get 3 points here within the first point. So point 3 is often people say, reflect immediately and learn and move on. Let's be really, really clear here. It is really difficult to do that. When something has happened, when you've hit failure and you've got emotion flying, it's really hard to be able to think logically. So what you need to do is to take the time, step away, to be able to reflect and come back and look at it with a logical thought and not an emotional thought. If you do it with emotion, you won't have any thought process in there and it will all be emotional. There will be no real learning. So you've got to make sure that you give it some time. So that is point number 1. Point number 2 was coming up in just 1 second. But please, if you're getting some value out of our video today, don't forget to subscribe because we will update you every 2 days when we upload new podcasts and videos on this channel. Tip 2 is if fear is possible, treat it as a challenge. So you've got a choice. If you're doing something where there is a possibility of failure, you've got a choice. You can either treat it with stress and let the normal stress things kick in and the nerves and everything else like that, or you can treat it as a challenge or an opportunity. So what do we mean here? So it's quite natural when you've got something that you've got to do. I've got to give a major presentation. And actually, I'm going to get really, really stressed and really, really up about it. Or alternatively, do you pick up that presentation and go, this is a real opportunity to get in front of people, to learn. And you know what? Get some feedback so I can improve on the next time. And it's your body's way that you react and your own way your brain reacts, the mindset aspect to this, that is quite key within this point. If you get your mindset right and go, hang on a second, I've done this before. When I did it before, this is what happened. This is what went really well, so I'm going to keep that going. This is what I learned from the last time I did it from some feedback. This is what I'm going to build into it. You then reframe it in your head as a challenge. And by reframing it in your head as a challenge, you'll enjoy it a lot better and your body will be ready for it. But also what I want you to do is to visualize that piece. I want you to think about when you have that opportunity, visualize what will it be when it's been successful? What will be a result of that success? How will you feel when you've had that success? When you've got all that positive feedback and no one can give you any feedback on a developmental side about how it is, visualize it and get it in there. But what it will also do when you naturally have some stress that's going on, but you control that and you make it more of a challenge in your own head, the things that you'll get, the physical piece like the shakes and other bits and pieces, which is perfectly natural, will help you be on your A game. You need these things. You need the adrenaline pumping to make those challenges come through. So if you have that coming through, your body will help you maintain your A game with the adrenaline that's flowing through. So this one is all about mindset. So that's point number 2. If you're listening on the podcast, thanks very much. Don't forget to click the YouTube link so you can continue the conversation down below. Here's the third and final point. The third and final point is treat yourself with care. It's when you go through fear of failure and when you go through failure, it's very, very easy to start beating yourself up. Oh, I was rubbish at that. God, I'm so awful. You can't do that. You've got to stop doing that. You've got to stop doing the negative self-talk. And we're going to do a video on that one very, very shortly. Stop the negative self-talk. Stop beating yourself up in your head. What you've got to do is a lot more self-care. You've got to stop reacting to things in a negative way. You've got to start thinking about things in a positive way. Take the positives from it. Even if things didn't go as planned, do you know what? You've learned and you've moved on as a result. Keep that learning process going, but don't beat yourself up, because that's how you get the opportunity to come back and do these things again. So 3 very quick tips to help you with getting over a fear of failure, either in a work environment or any other aspect and environment as well. Right, I'm going to link a couple of bits and pieces over here which will help you further with some other videos from our channel. One is about increasing your influence, which will really help you when actually communicating with others. And even more importantly, all the things we've been talking about today, and we do a lot on our channel, is we talk a lot about the relationships that we have with others. So I've also put a playlist for you there. Thanks very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you soon on the next Thoughts Over Coffee. Bye.